Ethereum is going through a major shock. The Ethereum Foundation has just laid off around 20% of its team, reduced its budget by 40%, and this could mark a real turning point for the future of Ethereum. So today, I want to start with that because this is not a small internal adjustment. We're talking about 54 people leaving the foundation, a much tighter budget, and a clear attempt to rebuild Ethereum's structure for the long term. And yeah, this matters because Ethereum is already under pressure. The price has been weak, confidence has been shaken, and some investors have left. And now the foundation itself is entering a new phase. So we talk about what it means, why the Ethereum Foundation is cutting costs, and whether this could actually be a healthy reset for Ethereum over the 5, 10, 20 years. We talk also about the digital euro because the European Parliament has just given its green light to the project, and it's very worrying. We'll cover the Clarity Act in the United States also, which still hasn't passed, with new opposition coming from American Catholic leaders. We'll talk about Meta, so Facebook, entering prediction markets, and we'll also cover a hack in the Cardano ecosystem. So yeah, a lot to discuss today. Hello everyone, and welcome to CryptoRed, the channel for crypto news. Let's start with the crypto markets. We have BTC at around $63,000. We have also Ethereum at close to $1,700. And let's move on straight into the first big story. Like I said, Ethereum. The foundation has just announced a major change. 20% of the foundation has been laid off. This is huge. We're talking about 54 people leaving, and at the same time, they have reduced the budget of the foundation by 40%. The idea is clearly to make the foundation last a lot longer and last as long as possible while continuing to develop Ethereum. Historically, they were spending around 15% of their funds every year. Now they are saying they want to move towards the 5% targets by 2030, meaning 5% of their funds deployed annually for the Ethereum ecosystem, developing, to do some research, some grants, and all of that. So the team is becoming smaller. They also communicated about the internal organization of the foundation, the people working on the protocol, the people working on the community, the people working with institutions and many other groups. So yeah, this is a smaller structure with a more controlled budget. And what is funny is that just yesterday we had the announcement of a second entity, kind of a parallel foundation, ETH Labs, that will also help develop Ethereum. So maybe this is part of Ethereum Foundation's broader strategy to have a less central role inside Ethereum, and to let more people and more organizations take space inside the Ethereum ecosystem. But yeah, still it remains a bit worrying because less budget also means less money to develop a number of important things, less money to support the different clients, the different software layers and the different tools that make Ethereum run. They actually said they will probably limit some of this and move towards more specialized clients, more specialized software, because they cannot continue subsidizing too many different Ethereum clients forever. So yeah, there will be change. There will be some big changes, and Ethereum is clearly in a transformation phase right now. You can see it in the price. You can see it in the departures. Some people are leaving. Some people are creating new structures. Some confidence has been lost also, and quite a few investors have left. Personally, I've told you this before, but I remain quite optimistic on Ethereum, on Bitcoin, and on a number of other crypto assets. But we also have to be honest, because important things are happening right now. Ethereum is rebuilding its foundation in a way so it can survive and keeps developing for the next 10, 15, or 20 years. So yeah, let's hope this transformation goes well. Now, let's move on to the digital euro. According to a lot of articles, the European Parliament has given its green light to the launch of the digital euro project. This is something the European Central Bank had been waiting for a lot of time. Christine Lagarde, the head of the European Central Bank, has been pushing this project for a very long time, and this step was necessary for the launch of the digital euro, the launch which is expected around 2029. So the idea is to compete with Visa, with MasterCard, and to offer a payment solution with lower fees because, of course, Visa and MasterCard take their commission every time. The idea is also to create a sovereign European payment solution, one that does not depend on American entities like Visa. And yeah, but this project worries a lot of people, and honestly, I'm one of them. I'm worried about the deployment of the digital euro. the head of the European Central Bank tried to reassure people, saying that it will not replace banknotes and cash, and the euro banknotes will continue to circulate for as long as European citizens want to use them. But personally, I don't think the first step will be a direct ban on cash. I think it will be more subtle. It will probably start with limitations, with cash becoming more difficult to use, less convenient, and eventually almost obsolete. Little by little, I think it will become harder to use cash. And the objective will be to trace more things through the digital euros. The European Central Bank is doing everything it can to slow down also the adoption of stablecoins. They are trying to ban Binance in Europe. The head of the European Central Bank reportedly pushed so hard against Binance getting MiCA approval in Greece, which is the license required to operate in Europe at the end of the month. So Binance should disappear in Europe in a few days. So yeah, we can clearly see the current tension here. There are two different visions. On one side, you have stablecoins for payments. On the other side, you have the digital euro, a central bank digital currency. The United States is moving more towards stablecoins, and the European Union is moving more toward the digital euro. These are two very different visions, and honestly, the European vision is worrying me. And so, yeah, that's the point I wanted to share with you. Of course, there are still several steps before the digital euro is fully deployed, but still, it is worrying. Now, let's talk about regulation in the United States with the Clarity Act, which still has not passed. We now have around 100 American Catholic leaders opposing the Clarity Act because of concern related to human trafficking. It's quite strange. The idea is that the Clarity Act includes an exception in the text so that developers of decentralized protocols and decentralized wallets are not targeted in the same way as centralized actors. But according to these Catholic leaders, this could lead to the development of criminal organization or other illegal activities. So they are opposing it, and they are putting pressure on lawmakers to block that part of the bill. And yeah, honestly, I don't really know what to think about this. Part of me wonders whether this is actually the banking lobby trying to slow everything down. It's just I'm not saying this with certainty, just an idea, but yeah, I'm just saying that I found it strange. There is also a lot of tension around an ethics clause in the Clarity Act. Democrats want to prevent American political leaders and Trump from taking positions in crypto projects like he did before. And yeah, that is not a point currently blocking the bill. So we'll see how this gets resolved. The key point is simple. The Clarity Act still has not passed. This bill is supposed to regulate crypto, clarify responsibilities, and define the roles of the CFTC, of the SEC, and other regulators. It is extremely important and very highly anticipated by the crypto industry, but there are still a lot of tensions around it. But one there was an issue with the stablecoin yields, but now this seems to be out of the negotiations. It would like they found some agreement on that point, but the ethics clause and the demand of these Catholic leaders are still unresolved. Now, let's talk about Arena. What is this? It's the new prediction market being developed by Meta, so Facebook. It would compete with platforms like Polymarket and Kalshi. For now, it seems to be based only on the point system, so there will be no real money at the beginning, but in the second phase, they could potentially introduce that. It is interesting to see Meta positioning itself in prediction markets. Meta has actually been very forward-looking in crypto and stablecoins. Let's remember that they tried to launch a stablecoin first called Libra or Diem. It had several names, a lot of backers, a lot of partners, and this was long before USDT really exploded the way it did. And if they had been able to launch it properly, I honestly think Meta could have become one of the leaders in stablecoins today, maybe even ahead of USDC. But politicians in the United States blocked them. They put obstacles in the way, and eventually the project never launched. But because of that, we saw many crypto projects emerge from the foundation that were built inside Meta at the time. Aptos and Sui are two clear examples. So Meta has history in this space. Now, when it comes to prediction markets, they are a bit late, and this is not the first time they have tried something like this. In 2020, they had already launched a small prediction market experiment, but it did not really work. So we'll see when this new project comes out, and we'll see how far they really want to go with it. And let's talk about something else. Let's talk about Cardano. There has been a hack in the Cardano ecosystem. From what I understand, the project affected is SecondFi. It's a system that allows users to generate wallets inside the Cardano ecosystem, and the issue came from their web wallet, We don't have all the technical details yet, but it seems to be linked to the way addresses were generated, were created. When this kind of issue happens, and by the way, Trust Wallet had a similar problem in the past, it is often because there is not enough entropy when addresses are generated. In simple terms, it means there is not enough randomness. So instead of generating truly random addresses, the system creates addresses that are more predictable than they should be. And if an attacker understands the weakness, they can use certain techniques to enumerate the possible addresses that were created and steal funds from the wallet generated through that float system. The amount stolen is still unclear. I saw some source mentioning $20 million. I also saw other estimates closer to $2 million. So for now, we are somewhere between $2 million and $20 million, but I have not yet seen a detailed and reliable article that gives a clear final number. I'll keep you updated if we get more information on this point. And that's what I wanted to share with you today on these different crypto news stories. Thanks for watching. I wish you a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow for the next update. Bye-bye.